Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Raq and Ash Podcast. We are so excited to have you back for yet another episode.
Mm-hmm.
This is Ash.
we're silly today, y'all.
We are.
This is Raq.
This is Ash.
And here we are.
Yes. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
We have a great episode lined up for you. We have a special guest who you'll see later, get to chat and hear some of her experiences. So we are super excited to get started. Thank you again for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. We are so excited, Ash and I, to welcome our guest for this episode, Miss Jayla Hall, a published author and a graduating high school student. And just because we're so excited to have Jayla here and talk about her book, I'm going to let her take it away. So Jayla, welcome to the Raq and Ash Podcast.
So for Greenville, I wrote it when I was 15 years old. It was when I was a first year in high school, and the way it came about was my English teacher had assigned the class to make a vignette on the house of Mango Street. We were only supposed to make 3. I ended up writing 12, and without even knowing it, I was setting myself up with the book because I illustrated a front and back cover, titled all the vignettes, made them all their little chapters, even though they were only 1 page. And even then, I was like, oh, this is like a nice thing I made. And it wasn't until my Spanish teacher saw it and was like, oh, this is amazing. This is a book right here. And then he was like, oh, I'll print this out. Everybody who comes into my office reads it. And I think that encouragement and support kind of helped shape the idea of publishing a book in the first place, because whenever you think of an author, you never think about somebody in like high school. You always think about somebody who's graduated college, already established in their career or something like that, because I was the same way. I never thought, oh, I'm definitely writing a book in high school. This is the goal. And I think it was when I transferred schools to my new school, my current one, that I met my teacher at the time for my major, which is business. And I chose business because it's something you can translate into any career field, even if you're a pre-med major or anything like that. You learn people skills, communication, and just time management and everything like that. So I saw it as something that isn't a singular career pathway. It's something that you can blend into anywhere. And she connected me with a publisher at the time where she was like, oh, this is a good connection for the two of you. And that was kind of my introduction to networking as well, just for the first time, taking the step out of my comfort zone and just asking somebody else. And I submitted my manuscript, 12 pages. And at the time, she was like, oh, this is perfect because we have a program for high schoolers like you, and this is something that we could work with. But then she brought back the reality that it wasn't a book, it was a pamphlet. So she's like, come back to me when you have a fully fleshed out manuscript. So then once I had winter break coming up, because I was on the girls badminton team, that was the time to have a break and just really work on the book itself. So I took all the 1 chapter pages and just turned them into 5 to 10 pages to get closer to the 100 page number. And then when I emailed her back after having the book done, thinking it was ready to go, she wasn't able to respond back to me, but I didn't take it personally because I never saw it as something to be mad about or anything like that, or take it in a way that would have affected me and my activities in sports and academics. So I had just a manuscript laying around, and it wasn't until my mother brought it back up to me. And she had found this place, a company I could submit the manuscript to and see what happened. So I was like, the worst they could say is no, so I'll just submit it. And then a few days later, I got a contract back, and that's when I was like, oh, this is really becoming real. This is surreal. And then I had a couple other different people look at the contract to make sure it was legit, something that makes sense. And once it was, I signed it, and that was kind of the way that prepared me to finally have a book in my hands today.
Wow.
Congratulations. And see, that might even inspire someone else, right? Because I feel like entrepreneurship, and you mentioned business, it's starting younger and younger. So whatever career you decide to go into, having business sense so that when you write a book and you start to make your millions, you know how to count it in the bank for yourself.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, Raquel, because the truth is, as you're sitting here talking, I'm being inspired. Because there's a lot of little projects and things Raquel and I have talked about, and I'm like, oh, one day. But the truth is, I need to just kind of go for it, take that step. So thank you for inspiring me as well. I'm sure inspiring both of us. And I was actually going to wear a shirt today that said, don't let anyone tell you or make you think because you're young you can't do something. don't ever think because of your youth or your age that you can't do anything. This world that your generation has, it gives you accessibility to everything.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
there's nothing you can't really do if you truly put your mind to it. It sounds cliche, but it's very true.
Exactly.
So we hope for all the success in the world. I can't wait to read this.
Thank you.
So very much looking forward to it.
Thank you.
We would love to hear your perspective about what does grace mean to you? What does that look like in high school, for example, even? And just tell us a little bit about your feelings about how you practice that maybe in your day-to-day walk.
That's a great question. I think when I first heard you asking that, I look at the cover because there's a conversation I had with a classmate where he was just inquiring about the book, trying to hear what my perspective of was it. And the question was like, what's the story behind the cover? Which in hindsight, there isn't much meaning towards it. Like I didn't put much meaning towards it. I just knew like Greenville, so add some greenery, forestry. But like the more you have something that you make, then you can add more deep meaning to it as you grow older, because something that you read when you were 15 isn't going to look the same as when you were 20. Yeah. So then that's the question that struck out to me. So what he was asking is like, what is she doing in the cover? Like, is she just walking to finish her walk, or is she following something? So when I think about grace, I think about, are you following or are you walking to your path, like your destination, like your destiny, or something like that. So I think in terms of that, I think grace looks like, for the book itself, like teaching yourself self-discipline. Like I couldn't go out with friends certain days. I couldn't spend these different times. I couldn't decide to like indulge in distractions or anything like that, because I wanted to set time, because I knew I wanted to write a book in high school. I just like, there wasn't no like anybody pushing me to do it. It was more so like from within. I just knew like this is something I wanted to do, and I had to just put myself into that mindset to get it done. And then for grace in high school, I would say making sure you have time management, and the people you surround yourself is the most important factor in that. So for me, it was more so like, if I hear somebody who had found about accomplishment about mine and seeing how they reacted towards it, not that everybody has to be, oh great, congratulations, but certain things that you pick up on and you just know who to avoid or limit yourself from, helps you with like maintaining a positive attitude.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, what I'm hearing, Ash, is boundaries. Like her perspective of grace has to do with boundaries that allows her to be the best version of herself,
which we talked about in the last episode. It's so true, because I think if we don't set those boundaries, like you said, if you have goals in mind, you won't reach them as on a pace that you would like to reach it on. But I think that's wonderful, and it shows how mature you are for your age. And as you said before, like even in writing a book, like I'd imagine you have to show yourself grace a lot and say to yourself, this may not have come out the way I want it to, but I'm just going to keep going, going to keep believing in the vision. And that's a wonderful thing. It really is commendable.
Definitely.
I have a question too that just popped in. Did you ever have writer's block? I've always wanted to ask someone that question, an author.
That's a great question. I think with the book especially, I think the more I've written after the book, I've experienced that, but when writing the book, not really. Because
it was flowing.
Yeah, exactly, that flow state. So whenever I wrote the book, and plus I gave myself a head start, to be honest, with the whole vignettes and chapters. I set it up for myself. So I think that's what helped, like that planning I didn't even know I was doing at the time, helped me like avoid like being too critical of my writing.
Very good, very good. So one of the things I loved, and I know Ash is going to agree with me, we love pouring into and working with the youth. So this has been an incredible experience for us as well, as short-lived as it is, but you are now part of the legacy of the podcast, which is great.
Thank you.
But I wanted to ask a question, because I go deep. No. If you had to tell me about one particular chapter in your book that really drew out your heart, your soul, your blood, sweat, and tears. For example, if you were on a deserted island and you had to tell me in 5 minutes, right, one of the most profound things about the book, what would you tell me?
Well, if I was on an island, it would definitely be the chapter, How Do You Want to Leave When It's Your Time?
Oh.
Or I think it was, How Do You Want to Go When It's Your Time?
Oh, wow.
So for that chapter, it kind of like explores the grimness of death. Like sometimes it's a challenging conversation. Like you don't want to ever have a conversation with your parents because you don't even want to envision that happening in the near time future, but everyone agrees that's an important thing to just sit down and talk about. So it's kind of like bringing the light onto that challenging question, like how do you even navigate it? How do you think about it? So for me, when I was younger, I was like an innocent way of thinking. It was like a naive way of thinking. You just leave. You're just gone. That was it. But then when I get older, I'm like, it's more complex than that.
Yeah.
It's not you just gone. There's something left of you here, and that's kind of like the book, The Legacy, making sure I was here, leaving your footprint on the world, even if it's more profound and you have to be independent with it too. So how do you want to leave when it's your time to go? So for that one, it's basically, I know at the ending, when it was only a vignette at the beginning of writing that chapter, because my English teacher had writing, he was like, oh, this is pretty like complex, because the ending is like, now who do you miss? Me or the dust bunnies under your bed?
Oh, Jayla. Oh gosh. Well, no, but that's good that I asked that question. But that is profound.
Yeah.
That is deep.
Yeah.
For a high school student to be again engaged mindfully about these thoughts. We hope that your message and your words will uplift and bless someone, whatever journey they're on, right? We know how difficult sometimes life can get, and sometimes it might be a scripture, it might be a prayer, but it can also be a testimony or a story that can get someone through, some of their times. So thank you for writing your book and, sharing it with the world. Do you want to tell everyone where they can find your book?
Yeah. So Greenville is available everywhere books are sold, and this includes Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Mascot Books, and it's also included as an ebook.
Yeah.
Love that.
So please support Jayla. If you would like to purchase a copy of her book, follow the directions she just gave. I think we're going to wrap up with Jayla, but we wanted to ask, what are your plans for this summer?
That's a great question.
As a high schooler?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think as a high schooler, I know like in the past, I usually spent my time like looking for employment, just finding a job. But because I had the apprenticeship, it helps bridge that searching. So I have already confirmed with like my apprenticeship to work this summer, and then also just making sure I'm making productive means. So either learning something new, doing like language questions, anything like that. Yeah.
Great.
Aww.
And you're graduating.
Yes,
congratulations.
congratulations. Did you make a college decision?
No, not yet.
Ooh, okay. Can't wait to hear. We're going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll follow up with Jayla's decision, and when she's wearing her sweatshirt of her college of wherever.
We'll reveal.
We'll have a second. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Jayla,
you.
for being
Thank
here.
you for being here. Thank you for coming in and just sharing all about your book and your journey.
Yeah.
And if you want to learn more about Jayla, please feel free to, you're on Instagram as well, her book, Amazon, and more ways. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jayla.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We are getting into our favorite segment, This or That. So our questions, because we are nearing summer, are kind of dealing with summertime or wellness. So Raquel, let's get into it.
Yay.
All right. I think we talked about this before, but the first question is, would you rather flip-flops or Crocs? And think about it like all the time if you had to say no to the other one,
Flip-flops. I wear flip-flops
Really?
in the winter.
Oh, how?
Yeah. No, I mean, seriously, like if I have to go do a pedicure in the winter time, I still put on my slippers. We call it slippers. Flip-flops here.
Well, let me put this into perspective. The day of my wedding, I was wearing Crocs with my dress after a while, so I love Crocs.
So you like Crocs?
Yes.
Oh.
Between the two, I would pick Crocs for sure.
No, flip-flops all day long.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So we differ in that one. All right. Next summer-themed question, and this is interesting. I wonder I know what you're going to say. Pool or beach?
Oh, beach.
Yeah.
Why did I have to put beach?
You know?
I mean, but
I don't know.
okay, so let me clarify.
Yes.
Beach, because I'm from the Caribbean and it's beautiful and it's naturally, part of us. But I'm afraid of the water, right?
Creatures?
Because there are sharks in there and they're gonna eat me alive. But beach.
Okay. For a long time, I said pool. And then I met my Trinidadian husband, and we enjoyed the beach together. And he's like, no, come in the water. It's great.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the beach more. I've not been to a Trinidadian beach yet. We will go. What is the place, Tim? Maracas Beach, yes. And Las Cuevas.
Las Cuevas. Yeah,
Las
Cuevas.
All these places I would love to go. So yes,
I mean, the
beach.
owner of Maracas could fly us there, or Las Cuevas.
Yes.
Who owns Maracas?
Hope you're watching.
The country.
Right? All right, y'all. So the next one is a wellness question. Would you rather try Pilates or kickboxing?
So I've tried both, but
So
I think
preference.
at this age, I would prefer Pilates, just because it's all that core stuff, and it stretches you. I heard, and grounds you, and all of that good stuff.
I think either one is nice. Like you said, though, maybe it has to do with more like if I was younger and had more energy, I definitely would have said kickboxing. But like I said, because I'm not as energetic as I used to be, nor as flexible. And I actually just recently started Pilates. So
you told me.
I would say Pilates. And it is nice, but it's a little scary. Like there's a lot of balance related things in there. But something about it is interesting. They call them lazy girl workouts. You don't have to do Pilates for like 20 hours or whatever. It's 20 minutes a day and a few days a week. And it actually does make a big impact. I can say that. So anybody looking for something cool to do and simple, Pilates. That's right, y'all. Next, that's kind of in the same sphere of questions. Which, if you had to choose one or the other for life, would you rather exercise every day or diet every day?
Oh, I don't believe in diets. I used to, but so one thing I've learned, and this is no plug to anybody, but the only time I lost weight sensibly and measurably and realistically was when I tried Weight Watchers.
Okay.
And that was about maybe 5-6 years ago. But I don't want to do the diet. What was the other option?
Exercise or diet every day. So one forever for the rest of your life.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard.
Exercise. Okay, I guess I'll pick exercise because exercise could be walking.
Yes,
right?
it's true. Yes, any physical activity.
Yeah, walking.
With intention of, being well to our body. I have a hard time with either because the truth is, like I said, I have a hard time like picking myself up out of bed and saying, get to work, do the workout. But I think I would have to say exercise for life because giving up my snacks and my food, I don't know. And we need some restraint in this world as people. We do need to learn to say, deny yourself that pie, that cheesecake, that ice cream. And I don't often, but if I had to choose one or the other, exercise.
I had M&Ms for breakfast. Don't judge me.
What do you have? M&Ms?
M&Ms.
Oh, M&Ms. Why? No. The mini M&Ms though, and that little like tubie.
Yeah.
Love that. That's
really
good.
I don't believe in denying like yourself food. I mean, could you imagine me not eating a double soy roti?
No, I can't.
I can't.
So we've settled on exercise every day.
Yes, at least we agree.
So our last question, something to think about. Would you rather have a pause button or a rewind button on your life?
Oh, that's hard.
I don't even know.
Pause. I mean, but if you pause, it has already happened and you're just pausing. What are you pausing for?
I would say pause in the sense that you could take some time to reflect on your next move. As the individual is still you're still in motion, but everything around you has paused versus going back in time. If you could rewind. It's hard.
Rewind.
Really? Rewind? I say that too a lot, but then I say it to that and it's going to sound a little extra and deep. But what if I rewind and it's not the same turnout? One little change could have altered.
True. Right. And we talked about this earlier, right? In one of our episodes where we had to decide the past or the future.
Yes.
And we both said
said the past. Oh, no, I said the past. Oh, we have to watch that one.
Yeah, we'll watch our own episode back.
No. But I did say go in the past, which is interesting because I would actually say pause.
Yeah.
Take the time to reflect. What am I going to do the next moves? Right, Tim? You say rewind? Oh.
Yeah, I think I would say with rewind because I feel like if you rewind, then you can pause and redo.
True. That is true too. There's good points to both.
Yeah.
But interesting questions and interesting things to reflect on. And we'll absolutely put the game, as usual, in the comment section. And please, guys, please do the games. We'd love to interact, talk about things. Maybe it could be a conversation starter for us. So
yeah, and let us know too if for next season you're interested in us continuing the this or that. Like, is that something where the audience, you get to learn more about us? Because I feel we get to learn more about each other and even ourselves. So let us know if you love that game. We're like finishing each other's sentences now.
So give us a like.
Or if you want us to try another game, you know, put it in the chat, suggest it, and you know, Ash will take a look at it.
Absolutely, we'll do. Oh, this was nice. Yes.
Where's my flip flop? Oh!
Kind of twinning with the shoes, very similar.
I think so. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I actually like shoes like this.
Same.
So as we wrap up this episode, I actually am going to go off of what we asked Jayla, our guest today. What are our plans for the summer? But before we get to that, I do want to just do this call to action to everyone watching. You know, Ash and I never imagined that we would be taping a full season of a podcast and reaching so many of you and making such an impact in the world with just who we are and what we say and what we do and how we laugh and how we cry and all of that. But, you know, I want everyone to please take time to rest, recuperate. It's such a priority for you to, you know, take time for wellness, whatever that looks like to you, whether it's getting outside more in the warm weather in New York, walking, you know, going by the water, you know, doing any type of activity, playing with your kids, walking with your significant other and spouses, and going to food places, that's considered walking too. But whatever wellness looks like for you, I think it's more and more becoming a topic. And we know that there's this wellness retreat and this event and, you know, what not to eat and this on Instagram and what to buy and all of that and juicing and all of that. But I think it's really important that you as an individual, whatever makes you feel safe, whatever makes you feel healthy, whatever makes you feel well. I've become a farmer.
A farmer.
Gardener? A gardener. A gardener.
McDonald.
I am going to put on some overalls and a hat and take a picture for the audience. But maybe we'll treat the audience, right, Ash, when you talk about our summer.
Yes.
We'll treat the audience to what's been happening in Raquel's backyard.
Sorry.
I'm a farmer. She's laughing at me.
It's just a visual.
A farmer. But listen, thanks to my sister-in-law, Nasha, big ups to her. She has encouraged me this summer, this season, I should say, to plant and to garden and, you know, just like get one with nature. And that has been so therapeutic, so peaceful, so enjoyable, so beautiful. Like every morning I wake up and I'm just like, ah.
That's so nice.
So, you know, just a call to action. Do what makes you feel well, what makes you feel happy, and what just lights up, you know, your world in whatever way. Take it from me. It's lighting up mine, but can't wait to show you guys.
Yes. And as we said, just thinking about summer very quickly, let me just let you guys know we have a little interesting summer plan. So yes, this is the last episode of our first season, which we're very excited to even announce. And just reflecting on this first season also made Raquel and I say, well, you know, maybe we should do something interesting for the summer. So one of our summer plans for sure is that Raquel and I will have a kind of Raq and Ash Podcast vlog where we're going to go to different places throughout New York, our hometown, and just kind of explore different little businesses, fun places to see, good eats, like whatever it is that, you know, it comes along a path, and we're going to film it and bring you guys along with us. So yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Yeah. Little road trip.
And it really, I mean, I've been doing that anyway. Like yesterday we went out to this Jamaican restaurant, and right in front there was this cookie vehicle, so to speak. The most amazing cookie.
Really?
And I think that's what, again, builds community. And that's part of what, you know, not just the show, but that's what I do, right? With Let Your Light So Shine. And I think it's important to just meet people and
Yes.
engage and learn more about different things to eat and see, like Ashley said. And I'm super excited for that because I just love meeting people.
Yes.
And I think, us doing it together, it's another opportunity for us to bond and get to know each other even more and experience things together. So, yeah.
Yes. So just a reminder for the months of June and July, we will be taking a little pause. So our last episode will be released in June, but the next episode after that will be in August. So we're excited.
Yes. And then during the summer, during June through August, we'll share little
snippets of the adventure.
Yes. And of course, Ashley's lovely sneak peek videos and what's happening. So thank you again for making our lives better.
Yes.
With this experience. Thank you for engaging with us, for watching us, and for uplifting us. We know that there are people out there who also lift us up with prayer and encouragement and support. And as Ash and I do all the time, we're just really blessed to have this experience and this safe space to be able to do what we love doing, which is to reach people.
Absolutely.
And love people.
Yes. So very quickly before we end, Raquel, what is your favorite moment from this season, if you can remember?
Oh gosh, are you?
Or one of your favorites?
One of my favorite moments, gifting you your cup.
Oh yes.
I thought that was
where's
cool.
The cup? Oh, yeah. I will bring the cup next time, guys. But yes, it's a beautiful cup, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
There were so many moments.
There's so many. I can't pick one either. I mean, obviously, I loved being interviewed with my husband. That was nice. I really enjoyed that time. That was a lot of fun.
Yes.
And what other moments do I love? I mean, I love our This or That games. That's helped me learn a lot about, I think, you, and you're probably learning a lot about me. So that's like, I don't know, I really enjoy that. I just think that the moments that are special or stand out to me stand out for different reasons. Yeah. Like, when we had Rachel on, that was just like, wow, like a different perspective. Yeah, but also like that moment of a relationship that turned into a friendship that I can, have her be a part of this. Yes. And then you'll see some of our guests, our other guests today, and then Tim, of course. But I just think every one of those episodes or moments they have special meaning. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. So it's been a great season. Yeah. We got through one wonderful season. We hope you all have enjoyed it. Yeah. So. Oh, and I was going to say, if you don't mind, if the audience, if you want to put in the chat somewhere we should visit. Oh, yeah. If you have a good place or an idea, feel free to, drop a suggestion. If we can make it, great. Yes. If it's something we both, can align with, absolutely. But thank you. Yes, thank you so much. And so as always, this is Raq. And this is Ash. And this is our podcast. And this has been a wonderful season 1. And we can't wait to welcome you back for season 2. And thank you to all the hands that go behind the scenes, all the hands that help and support to get this episode up and running, and each and every episode. There's just so much work. And then thank you, Ash, for doing all the technical stuff and sharing with the world these episodes. You do an amazing job, and we just can't thank you enough. Well, only by the grace of God. And thank you again for letting me partner up with you and doing this. It's been a really great time. And like you said, let's give a little shout out. Thank you to Josh, Raquel's son. Thank you to Tim, our filmmaker and our sound guy. Thank you, Marie, for always assisting. Marie. God bless you guys. Yes. This has been a great time. And Daniel, you're not here right now, but the young son, yes. And Stuart. Yes, my husband, who was here for the taping of Tim's episode, but didn't want to go in front of the camera, but now he can. So thank you guys so much. Yes. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for sending comments and ideas our way, and we just appreciate it very much. Thank you guys. Thank you. Can we get a little shoe cam? Yay, bye. I need some shoes. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Look at it. Look at the rose. This is my oasis. When I put the cushions and stuff. So I planted all of this is peppers. Like peppers, bird pepper, jalapeno pepper,
riri pepper, scotch bonnet, and then I did 2 beets, and then this is some spinach and more peppers. Look, kale. Look at how it's done. Red strawberry, herbs like lavender, parsley, bandania.